born on July 19, 1875. I was an American poet, journalist, and political activist. I was also one of the prominent African Americans involved in the artistic flourishing of the Harlem Renaissance. I graduated from a teaching program at Straight University, later on Dillon University in 1892. I worked as a teacher at Old Meridian Elementary. I lived in New Orleans for 21 years. During this time, I studied art and music, learned to play piano and cello. My first collection of short stories and poems, Wallace and Other Tales, was published. Around this time, I moved to Boston and then New York City. I co-founded and taught a white mission home for girls in Manhattan. In 1916, I married Robert, now known as Robert J. Nelson. In 1930, I traveled throughout the country, lecturing, covering thousands of miles, participating at 37 educational institutions. I also spoke at YWCAs, YMCAs, and churches. I became a charter member for Philly's Weekly Club and with the Women's Era newspaper created for African Americans in particular. I was an activist for African Americans and women's rights, especially during 1920s and 1930s. In 1940, I co-founded the Equal Suffrage Study Club, and in 1950, I was a field organizer for it. As well, in 1980, I was a field representative for the Women's Committee of Council of Defense. I also campaigned for the passage of the anti-lynching bill, but the Southern Democrat blocked and Congress elected it. I published a Dunbar speaker and entertainer, a literary anthology for the African American audience.